we already talked about. Who are the speaker? What we have talked about the speaker? Speaker are elected. लोकसभा में चेयरपर्सन होता है या राज्यसभा में चेयरपर्सन होता है? I hope it is a राज्यसभा where the panel of chairperson. वाइस चेयरपर्सन राज्यसभा में होता है, चेयरमैन, हाँ चेयरपर्सन, पैनल ऑफ चेयरपर्सन लोकसभा में होता है. यहां पर पैनल ऑफ चेयरपर्सन होता है. सॉरी, यू आर राइट. और यहां पर होता है वाइस चेयरपर्सन, पैनल ऑफ वाइस चेयरपर्सन. तो स्पीकर आर इलेक्टेड फ्रॉम लोकसभा and from amongst its member. Who appoints the date of the Lok Sabha's speaker's election? The president. Yeah, the president fixed the date for the election for the Lok Sabha speaker, and Lok Sabha speaker are elected by the Lok Sabha from its member. Fine. Yeah. What is the tenure of the Lok Sabha? Tenure of the Lok Sabha speaker. अच्छा, लोकसभा या स्पीकर का टेन्योर कितना है? 9. या until the majority, until the government holds the majority. Otherwise, there are 5 years. Yeah, there is a period of 5 years where the each Lok Sabha election shall be held. Right. So whenever there is a full majority in the Lok Sabha, then it is a 5-year. Right. Otherwise, the Lok Sabha speaker, the office of the Lok Sabha speaker continue till the Lok Sabha term of the Lok Sabha, life of the Lok Sabha. अगर 3 साल के लिए लोक सभा है तो स्पीकर भी 3 साल के लिए रहेगा. Fine. Now, if you look at the Lok Sabha, speaker office should not be remain vacant. Whenever there is a fall of vacancy, in the Lok Sabha speaker, right? There should be again Lok Sabha speaker shall be elected by the Lok Sabha itself. Fine. And tenure हो गया. Yeah. So when the Lok Sabha speaker vacate his office, in what condition Lok Sabha speaker? Let me talk about speaker. We talked about election. Is election elected by the Lok Sabha itself. What is tenure? Tenure is until Lok Sabha holds the majority. और 5 years. लास्ट 5 साल तक रह सकता है, उसके बाद he has to resign. Tenure हो गया. And then vacancy or vacating. In what condition they had to vacate? Speaker has to vacate the office whenever he ceases to member of the Lok Sabha. First, whenever he or she ceases to be the member of Lok Sabha. Secondly, when he resigns, right, and give a writing resignation letter to Deputy Speaker. Whenever the Speaker resigns from his office and submit his or resignation letter, किसको देता है? Yeah, to the deputy. Right? What is the third condition? He can be removed by the Lok Sabha. Right? He can be removed by a resolution passed by majority of all then members of the Lok Sabha. Right? And such resolution can be moved only after giving 14 days prior notice to the Lok Sabha speaker. Third right, he is removed by a resolution. He or she can be removed by a resolution by special majority. Yeah, he can be removed by a resolution by a special majority. Right? Such resolution can be given. Such resolution for removal, for the speaker's removal, must be introduced after giving 14 days prior notice to the speaker. Fine. Now, whenever the removal process is going on, can he sit beside the house? No, he cannot preside the house. Who presides the house then? Deputy, yeah, deputy. But can he be present in the house? Yes, he can be present in the house, but can he be vote? Can he vote? He can vote in the first instance while he's right. When removal proceeding is going on, he can vote because he is a general member that then. Fine, nahi. He can speak and take part in proceeding of the House of Assembly and voting. Right. Right. Yeah. When resolution, removal resolution is under consideration, the speaker cannot preside the house. So who presides the house? The house is presided by the deputy. The house is presided by deputy speaker, right? The speaker can be present in the house and he can vote in first instance. He can vote in first instance. He cannot vote in the case of tie. He can vote in the first instance, right? But he cannot vote in the case of tie, equality of votes. Last slide, please. अभी ये कर लो, उसके बाद लाइट स्लाइड करते हैं. Array, 1 minute. Look at this. Vacating whenever he ceases to be member of the Lok Sabha, whenever the speaker resigns from his office by giving resignation letter to the deputy. Then third is whenever the Lok Sabha speaker is removed by a resolution, then he vacates the, or she vacates the office. Shubham, Harsh, have you written? Harsh, done? Yeah. Now, such resolution for the speakers removal must be introduced after 14 days prior notice. पहले 14 days उनको notice देना पड़ेगा कि we are going to remove you. Fine. And whenever resolution, removal is under consideration, the speaker can vote in the first instance. He cannot vote in case of tie. Right? Got the idea? Now, one more thing that you note. First instance, मतलब मान लो कि I'm a speaker here, right? So कोई भी resolution motion pass हुआ, motion introduce किया किसी ने, right? So everyone can vote. I cannot because I'm a speaker. I can vote only in case of tie. ठीक है? But whenever my removal resolution is under consideration in the house, right? This is the Rajya Sabha, the online is the Rajya Sabha, and offline are the Lok Sabha, right? So whenever the resolution removal resolution is under consideration, I cannot preside and I cannot vote on the case of tie. I would be like a simple member of the Lok Sabha. I can vote on first instance, like other Lok Sabha member are doing. First instance मतलब जब first time, तो फर्स्ट टाइम आपके पास आता है और आपने वोट कर दिया. फाइन. नाउ वन मोर थिंग दैट यू नीड टू नोट, whenever the Lok Sabha is dissolved, right, the speaker does not resign. Right? लिखिए नोट में, when the Lok Sabha is dissolved, the speaker does not resign. Speaker does not resign. अच्छा, वो resign कब करता है? He resigns or she resigns from his office just before the first Lok Sabha, next for a new Lok Sabha come. Yeah, he or she resigns just a day before. A day before, when newly elected Lok Sabha meets. Got the idea? Whenever the Lok Sabha is dissolved, right, the speaker does not resign. When he resigns just a day before, the newly elected Lok Sabha meet. जैसे इलेक्शन हो गया, अब कल नया सेशन होने वाला है, शुरू होने वाला, तो आज वो रिजाइन कर देगा. क्लियर? राइट? अब जब रिजाइन कर देगा तो फिर क्या होगा? रिजाइन करने के बाद द प्रेसिडेंट वुड इलेक्ट अ प्रोटेम स्पीकर. राइट? अ प्रोटेम स्पीकर का काम क्या होता है? Protem speaker is a temporary speaker for the day, and he presides the house for the day, and that day actually Lok Sabha speaker is elected. Got the idea? Yeah, clear? Kiran, Karishma, Firnaz, Daman, Abhay, Athira. क्लियर? किरण ने क्या बोला? प्रेसिडेंट, अभी बताता हूं, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. right? We will talk about a pro tem speaker later on. Let me talk about the power and authority of the Lok Sabha speaker. It's a very important. Power and functions of speaker. Sorry. Yeah, it would be same, right? The same tradition is followed in the state, because we have parliamentary system in the state also, right? So same replication is followed in the state assembly also. Fine. Now look at, if you see, the speaker is the head of the Lok Sabha, and he's also, actually guardian and power, guardian of the Lok Sabha. He's a principal spokesperson in the Lok Sabha, right? He is a final interpreter of all statute, rules, regulation, decorum within the Lok Sabha, right? And his decision in the parliamentary matters is final. किसका? स्पीकर का. वो दादा होता है अपने लोकसभा में, उसके खिलाफ कोई नहीं बोल सकता, right? His interpretation is final. Fine. And if you see the speaker of the Lok Sabha, he derives power from three sources, right? First is Constitution of India. Second is rules and procedure of the rules, procedure and conduct of business of the Lok Sabha. And third is many conventions that empowers the speaker, right? तो लिखिए तो, right, about a speaker. लिखिए, the speaker is a final authority within the Lok Sabha. Right? And speaker is a final authority within the Lok Sabha, and he or she is final interpreter. Interpreter of rules, regulation, statute, and the Constitution of India. Within the House. The speaker is a final authority within the Lok Sabha, and he or she is a final interpreter of rules, regulation, statute, and Constitution of India within the House. He or she is the guardian of power and privileges of its members. Guardian of power and privileges of his members. Right? And he or she is a final spokesperson in the Lok Sabha. The speaker gets power from three sources. The speaker gets power from three sources. बढ़ा दूं, लिख लिया. 3 sources. First, the Constitution of India. Second, the rules of the business rules and procedure. Rules and procedure of the business of the Lok Sabha. And third, from convention, ऐसे लिखिए, parliamentary convention. Parliamentary conventions. These are the 3 sources for the power of the Lok Sabha speaker. Right? He or she has following power. Following powers. अब लिखिए A. The speaker maintains order and decorum in the house. Right? Conducting its business for conducting its business. Yeah. Second one, B. He is the final interpreter of the Constitution of India and parliamentary procedures. Javed Saab, go ahead. He is the final interpreter of the Constitution of India, its clause and proceedings of the House. Yeah. Constitution of India, its clause and proceedings of the House. Proceedings of the House. वैसा पूछ रहे, yet we see instances of throwing chair and violence within the house. Is any action taken against the violators by the? No, there are many instances when the members are suspended for the few period of time. So, speaker can suspend the members. यार हमारे Abhay is saying parliamentary discipline is worst. You have not observed the parliamentary proceedings of the other countries, especially third world countries. I can't compare Indian parliamentarian with the Americans and UK. But if you look at Eastern Europe like Azerbaijan, Armenia, वो बिल्कुल आपस में जैसे दंगल होता है ना, WWF देखा है, वो उठा के पटक देते, ऐसा भी होता है, right? So ऐसा थोड़ा मोड़ा चलता है. But Indian Parliament is not so violent, and of course, Parliament is a process. Parliamentary proceedings has some law and some decorum that to be followed. But India में ऐसा नहीं होता कि कुर्सी उठा के एक दूसरे पे फेंक रहे. हाँ, disturbances होता है, right? Indian Parliament, not only Indian Parliament, the Parliament of the world has witnessed its own decline. So the Indian Parliament has also witnessed its own decline. Fine. but it does not mean that parliamentarians are not disciplined. They are disciplined. इतना चलता है, इतना अगर हम आपस में बहस करें ना तो लोग गर्म हो जाएंगे एक दूसरे के खिलाफ कि ये ऐसे कैसे बोल दिया. नहीं होता है, राइट? स्टूडेंट कॉलेज में जाके देखिए स्टूडेंट कितना वायलेंट होते हैं. नहीं, राइट? सर लास्ट पॉइंट रिपीट करिए. लास्ट पॉइंट क्या था? He is a final interpreter of the Constitution of India, its clause and business of the house. Final spokesperson वो बोलेगा किसी को, okay, you go out of the house, then you have to go out of the house. And final spokesperson मतलब बोलेगा आप बोलिए तो आप बोलिए. You sit down. You have not seen Venkaiah Naidu. Have you ever seen Venkaiah Naidu? Venkaiah Naidu is very strict. Unlike the others, ex officio, right? He is equivalent to the ex officio in the Rajya Sabha is equivalent to the speaker. Even though Om Birla is very strict. But if you talk about the speaker like 2009 से 2014 तक speaker कौन था? मीरा कुमार. He was so soft, so sophisticated. हाँ ठीक है, आप लड़ रहे हैं, हल्ला मत कीजिए, आराम से रहिए, right? But if you talk about Om Birla is very strict speaker. राइट? तुरंत सस्पेंड कर देता है. ये दिस मैन क्या नाम है उसका? एक्स ऑफिसर ऑफ द भी वाइस प्रेसिडेंट थे हमारे इससे पहले, वेंकैया नायडू. और डिप्टी चेयरमैन है राज्यसभा का. उसका नाम क्या है? कौन? हरिश्चंद्र या कुछ नाम है. ही यूज्ड टू बी जर्नलिस्ट एंड ही इज फ्रॉम बिहार, पूर्णिया डिस्ट्रिक्ट, एंड ही इज फ्रॉम जदयू पार्टी. एनीवे, right, his name is the deputy chair of the Rajya Sabha. He's very strict, right? He's also very strict, and he often suspends members for disrupting the house, right? Final spokesperson मतलब final spokesperson. उसने जो कह दिया वो कह दिया. Everything, not only passing of the bills. Okay, bill is passed, then bill is passed. When the speaker says कि bill is passed, right, it is a bill is passed. वो irrevocable नहीं है कि नहीं सर नहीं हुआ फिर से काउंट करिए. नो, राइट? फाइन. अभी वॉइस वोट से रोज राज्यसभा में बहुत सारे बिल पास हुए हैं पिछले बहुत 1-2 महीनों में. उसमें मेंबर का स्पीकर का बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है. स्पीकर ने कह दिया ओके पास, देन पास. तो ही इज द फाइनल स्पोक्सपर्सन विद इन द हाउस. Right. Next point you write. He adjourns the house or suspend the meeting in absence of a quorum. ऐसे लिखो. She adjourns or suspend the house in absence of quorum. In absence of quorum. अच्छा, what is quorum? अच्छा, quorum किसको कहते हैं? Quorum means minimum number of members to be present in the house to start the business of the house. क्या है quorum? Yeah, 1/10. That means अगर मान लो जी पार्लियामेंट का लोकसभा का स्ट्रेंथ है 543, राइट? इसका 10% कितना होगा? अगर if there are only 55 members present in the Lok Sabha, then house can be initiated. House can initiate any work, right? Any debate, passing of the bill, कोई भी काम जो है normal functioning of the house can be initiated if quorum is present, right? Next point you write, the speaker does not vote on first instance. ही होगा ना? Yeah. The speaker . does not vote on first instance. अच्छा, किसी को फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस को प्रॉब्लम था. फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस मतलब होता है कि आया और वोट कर दिया. नहीं, पहले मेंबर वोट करेंगे. होता है ना, ही इज अ गार्जियन. घर में क्या होता है, गार्जियन खाना पहले खाते हैं या आपको पहले देते हैं? पहले बच्चे खाते हैं ना. तो पहले बच्चे खाना खा लो आराम से, फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस में. हम बाद में खा लेंगे अगर जरूरत पड़ी तो. नहीं तो उनको खाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. इट मींस इनको वोट करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. When there is a equality of vote within the Lok Sabha, in that case the speaker votes. ठीक है. The speaker does not vote on first instance and he or she votes in case of equality. In case of equality. Right? So when the house is divided equally on any question, तब हाउस हो गया लॉक, एक टाइप से लॉक हो जाता है कि इफ 50% बिलीव समथिंग यस and 50% believes no, right? Then in that case there is equality within the house. In that case the speaker votes. ठीक है. इसको बोलते हैं कास्टिंग वोट्स. क्या बोलते हैं? कास्टिंग वोट. राइट. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखिए, DE. The speaker always presides joint sitting. The speaker always presides joint sitting of the house. The speaker presides अरे मैंने कब लिखवाया? अंबर बोल रहा है कि सर अभी आपने लिखवाया था कि स्पीकर कैन वोट इन फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस, बट अभी आप मना कर रहे हो. The speaker can vote in first instance only when the removal resolution is going on against him, right, for his removal. Tab, okay, fine. Yeah. When removal resolution is already there in the house, the speaker vote in first instance, but not in case of equality. क्या लिखा? E point कुछ लिखा? The speaker presides the joint sitting of the house. Such joint sitting is summoned by the president. Such joint sitting is summoned by the president joint sitting of the parliament and such joint sitting is summoned by the president to resolve a deadlock on a bill. ठीक है, right? Now the speaker can allow a sacred seating. EF. The speaker can allow a sacred seating of the house right at the request of at the request of the leaders of the house. At the request of leaders of house. Fine. Okay. Who is the leader of the house? जब हम कहते हैं speaker can allow a secret sitting, of the house at the request of the leader of the house. What is leader of the house? Leader of the house is always Prime Minister. Whenever he is member of the Lok Sabha. But if he is not a member of the Lok Sabha, then he is not a member of the house. In that case, any minister appointed by the Prime Minister is the leader of the house. Got the idea? Who is the leader of the house? Always PM. Only if he is a member of the Lok Sabha. Now, for example, Narendra Modi is a leader of the house, and he is also a member of the Lok Sabha. He is a leader of the house. Naturally, he is a leader of the house. But talk about 15th Parliament, 14th Parliament, 15th Parliament, right? 14th Parliament. The Manmohan Singh, he was a member of the Rajya Sabha, not the Lok Sabha. Then he used not to be leader of the house, leader of the Lok Sabha. Right? वहां पर वो कहां के थे? लीडर होता है राज्यसभा का. ठीक है? ये भी डिजाइन होता है तब. अच्छा, वो पहले का कमेंट है. Got the idea? Leader of the house. अभी बात करेंगे. Now, whenever the house is allowed for secret sitting, whenever the house is allowed for a secret sitting, no other people are allowed to enter, or no stranger is allowed to sit in the meeting. उसमें no journalist कोई allowed नहीं होता है, right? No public, no journalists, nobody is from outside are allowed in the secret meeting. Only the speaker and the member of the house. Right? Now, F हो गया. Next. Yeah. The next is FG. The speaker decides whether bill is a money bill or not. When are such meeting held, sir? Actually, secret meeting emergency के time पे होता है generally, right? Otherwise, there is no secret, because democracy is all about open, accountability, transparent, right? But such meeting is held only when there is an emergency kind of situation, right? When we don't need to open a kind of any information to the media, then such meeting are held. Vaishak? Not yet. Okay? G. The speaker decides whether a particular bill is a money bill or not. Right? He always endorsed the speaker decides whether a particular bill is a money bill or not. He always endorses a bill and sign on it. He always endorses a bill and sign on it that it is a money bill. Fine. So next, GH. The speaker decides about disqualification of its member in case of defection. The speaker decides the question of disqualification of its members in case of defection. We talked about defection in the last few classes, yeah. So defection के time पे कौन होता है, preside करता है, speaker. Fine. But in case of violating the RPA Act 1951, who decides about disqualification of the member? Election Commission, yeah. Election Commission, President, yeah. Election Commission recommend to the President and the President takes the final decision. Recently, one MLA in UP has been disqualified for hate speech. Do you know? Sir, can you repeat, please? The Speaker of the Lok Sabha decides about disqualification of its member in case of defection. But whenever there is a RPA Act, right, or the violation of RPA Act 1951, then who decides about disqualification? Right? Decision, actually it is taken up by the Election Commission, and Election Commission recommend to the President, and President they give the final decision. The President has to follow the Election Commission mandate. ऐसा नहीं कि अलग वो छोड़ देगा. Got the idea? Election Commission ने एक बार कह दिया, the President has to follow that. Fine. Recently, one member of the assembly, UP assembly, has been disqualified because of hate speech, and he violated RPA Act 1951. अच्छा, उनका नाम पता है? समाजिया या समाजवादी पार्टी, आजम खान. Yes, Ajam Khan. The Ajam Khan membership has been suspended or terminated, not suspended only. Suspension का मतलब होता है फिर से आएंगे वापस. Termination मतलब होता है जाइए घर में, टाटा बाय बाय. Right? So his membership was terminated by the Election Commission, and of course the final decision is taken by the governor. पता है ना कि डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन आपको बताया था पिछले कुछ क्लासेस में कि क्या क्या बेसिस है डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन के. There are 3 bases. One is RPA Act 1951, second is Office of Profit, and third is defection. Yeah, we have already talked about. Right, so क्या लिखा? He decides about disqualification of its member in case of defection, right? And अच्छा, is speaker's decision in case of defection is a final? It used to be. बताया ना कितने कोर्ट केसेस बताया, या 3-4 केसेस बताए. Earlier the speaker's power regarding disqualification of its member, right, was final, right? But the Supreme Court said that no, the speaker decision is under the purview of judicial review. Later on, the speaker's decision regarding to decide disqualification of its member has been reduced more. याद है? नहीं पता कौन ना, राइट? जो लोग नहीं आए थे तो उनको फिर से देखना पड़ेगा क्लास में कि डिफेक्शन में कैसे होता है. Now got the idea? Yeah, defection. Yeah, again GHI लिखिए. The speaker is ex officio of all parliamentary groups in which he is a member. The speaker is a ex officio in all parliamentary groups in which he is a member. We parliamentary groups in which he is a member. जिस parliamentary group में वो member होंगे, automatically वो उसके chairperson होंगे. Right? Parliamentary committee बताऊंगा आप लोग को. राइट, देयर आर पार्लियामेंट्री कमिटी। तो जो भी पार्लियामेंट्री कमिटी होगी जिसमें वो मेंबर होंगे कौन, स्पीकर, ऑटोमेटिकली स्पीकर विल बी द chairperson ex officio, chairperson of that parliamentary group, right? Now next you write, yeah, he appoints chairman of all the parliamentary committee of the Lok Sabha. जे होगा ना, appoints chairperson of all the parliamentary committee of the Lok Sabha. Yes, hers. Ask me again. What didn't get? Yeah, how Lok Sabha speaker is removed, we have talked about in the special. Well, I talked about a special majority. कैसे हटाया जाता है उसको? He is not removed by the ordinary majority. He is removed by a special majority, right? Yeah, and he needs 14 days prior notice, right? His salary is also fixed. Now write about deputy speaker. Now one more thing. Now talk about a speaker in the UK and a speaker in the India. Now if you look at the speaker, UK and India, right? We have parliamentary system in India also, and parliamentary system. Got it, sir? Was answering your question. Okay, fine. कुछ भी लड़ाई अगर लड़ाई कर भी लेगा तो भी सस्पेंड हो जाएगा. No, there are parliament. There are, the Lok Sabha is governed through the rules and procedure of the business of the Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is governed by the rules and procedure of the business of the Rajya Sabha. दो डॉक्यूमेंट है, बहुत मोटी मोटी डॉक्यूमेंट है, राइट? इसको बोलते हैं स्टैट्यूट. ठीक है? Basically it talks about the disciplines that should be right followed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. ठीक है? जैसे आपको बताया ना कि स्पीकर गेट्स पावर फ्रॉम three sources. One is the Constitution of India, right? Then the rules and procedure of the business of the Lok Sabha, right? And then the conventions, जो भी conventions है, right? That we have developed for the parliamentary democracy in India. Now let me talk about a speaker in UK and India. If you look at UK, whenever a member of the house is elected as a speaker, then he has to resign from the party membership, right? But if you look at the India, whenever a member of the house is elected as a speaker, then it is not compulsory to resign, right? So here you can write whenever a member of the Lok Sabha elected as the speaker of the house, he or she has to resign from party membership. Okay, what is the purpose of neutrality? Yeah. Purpose is here, Purpose is here purpose is to be neutral in the house. Right? He should not take sides of any party. He should be neutral. Right here now, if you see the whenever a member of the Lok Sabha elected as Speaker of the House, ये A है, as a Speaker of the House, he may or may not resign from the party membership. Right? For example, Om Birla has not resigned. Right? But if you talk about UP1, when the Somnath Chatterjee became the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, he resigned from the party membership. Right? Now, if you look at the Indian Speaker is blamed always that he takes sides of his party. Right? Even Om Birla has been accused several times that he is taking the sides of his own party and he should be neutral. So whether there is a debate whether we should follow the UK system or should we continue what we have already. What do you think? If a member is elected as a Speaker of the House, his membership automatically should be suspended. Of course, nahin. His membership of the party should automatically suspended, for the term period while he served the Speaker. Nahin hona chahiye. Anyway, but if you see the India, when the Speaker gives party membership, does he lose the membership of the House? No. Right? When the Speaker resigns from the party membership, he or she does not loses the membership of the House. But if any person or any member give up the party membership, then does he or does she loses membership of the House? Yes. In that case, defection. Yeah, it's called defection. Right? If any member cannot resign from the House, right, voluntarily, cannot give up the party membership, but the Speaker can give up the membership of membership of the party. Got the idea? Basically यही है स्पीकर को जो थोड़ा बात करना था. Now let me talk about deputy speaker. Deputy speaker, is not. Now talk about deputy speaker. कहने के लिए डेप्टी है, बट पावर इसका बराबर है. Right? You can write deputy speaker is not subordinate to the speaker. पहला line. It will work in your PT. The deputy speaker is not subordinate. The difference में second point क्या था? अच्छा, second point मैंने कुछ लिखा नहीं, but बोल के रह गया जो आप जानते हैं. Right? Whenever a speaker give up the party membership, he does not or she does not loses the membership of the House. Harsh. Right? You know that through the defection. Right? Deputy speaker is not a subordinate. Of the speaker. He is elected by the Lok Sabha. He is elected by the Lok Sabha from among its members. राइट अच्छा, इनके इलेक्शन का डेट कौन फिक्स करता है? प्रेसिडेंट करता है या स्पीकर करता है? स्पीकर करता है. या स्पीकर, द स्पीकर fixes the date of election of the deputy, and whenever the seat is vacant, another deputy speaker is elected. Another deputy speaker is elected. Fine. अच्छा, टेन्योर क्या होता है इनका? As same as speaker, but he resigns, just after dissolution of the house. केवल स्पीकर का पोस्ट बचता है. Yes, you want this slide? हाँ. Just after the dissolution of the house, only speaker remain, in position, otherwise everyone resigns. अच्छा, टेन्योर होगा as same as the speaker. अच्छा, टेन्योर नहीं, wait, टेन्योर ही लिखा था ना पिछले. टेन्योर, अच्छा, पावर as same as the speaker. He presides the house, the Lok Sabha, in absence of the speaker. Same as the speaker, he or she presides the Lok Sabha in absence of the speaker. राइट, और कुछ नहीं है ऐसा कुछ जो right, panel of chairperson of the Lok Sabha. Panel of chairperson of the Lok Sabha. Panel of the chairperson of the Lok Sabha. Right, the speaker nominates from amongst the member a panel not more than 10 chairperson. The speaker nominates from amongst its member not more than 10 in the panel of chairperson. अच्छा, इनका काम क्या होता है? Whenever the speaker and the deputy speaker are absent, then any person, any member from the chairperson can preside the house, right? Whenever the speaker and the deputy speaker are not present, then any member from the panel of chairperson presides the house, right? So whenever the member presides the house, he has equivalent power as a speaker of the house. Fine, you can write whenever a member of panel of chairperson, whenever the member of panel of chairperson presides the house, whenever the member from panel of the chairperson of the house presides, he or she has equivalent power as the speaker. Now this Saturday you attempt an exam again on center-state relations. Saturday नहीं, Friday, right? Center-state relations and और क्या हो गया? Yeah, federalism, center-state relation, federalism जो भी है, right? Center-state relation and federalism are very important for men's perspective. ये जो parliament है, it is important from both the perspective, PT as well as men's. So देखते हैं, हो जाएगा बहुत सारा इस वीक में. I'll ask 30 questions from the parliament objective and approximately 5 to 7 questions from federalism and parliament. Parliament and federalism. Sorry. सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशन, फेडरलिज्म सब एक ही तो है, इसमें है क्या? सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशंस कॉल्ड फेडरल रिलेशंस. कितने चैप्टर हैं इसमें? 2-3 चैप्टर हैं. लेजिस्लेटिव रिलेशंस, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिलेशंस, फाइनेंशियल रिलेशंस, इंटर स्टेट वाटर डिस्प्यूट, इंटर आईएससी, इंटर स्टेट काउंसिल, जोनल काउंसिल, ये है 5-6 चीजें हैं उसमें. और है क्या? नेशनल इमरजेंसी, राइट? आई विल नॉट आस्क फ्रॉम द स्टेट इमरजेंसी. And then from parliament. ठीक है? ज्यादा हो रहा है क्या? नहीं ना. फेडरलिज्म 2 चैप्टर बहुत है, मतलब बहुत कम है. You can do it. You can revise your federalism. ठीक है, चलिए. उसमें क्या आना था? अब मान लीजिए कि कोई भी मतलब चेयरपर्सन में से 10 लोग में से कोई ये लोग भी ना हो, तो क्या होगा? Who will preside the house? For example, when there is a, for instance, when there is no speaker, no the deputy speaker, and not even a single member of the panel of chairperson is present in the house, then who will preside the house? कौन? Leader? नहीं. No. Any person of the house, elected amongst its member. कोई भी, any member of the house elected amongst its member. ठीक है, फिर से एक छोटा सा इलेक्शन होगा and then it will be decided. ठीक है, got the idea? Now okay. अच्छा, समझ में आया? फेडरलिज्म एंड इंटरस्टेट रिलेशन ये फाइनल है ना? यस, लेट मी टेल यू, फेडरलिज्म यही पढ़ाए थे पहली बार पहले, देन सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशन, नेशनल इमरजेंसी, एंड देन पार्लियामेंट. अभी पार्लियामेंट तो पढ़ाना शुरू किया है. अच्छा, केवल यही रहने दो, सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशन. फिर एमसीक्यू नहीं बन पाएगा फेडरलिज्म से उतना ना. बन तो जाएगा बट आपके लिए फायदा नहीं है. आई कैन मेक इट बट वो आपके लिए फायदा नहीं, तो मैं पढ़ा के क्या करूं? इसमें बोला 85 चैप्टर है, मैं यहाँ 85 चैप्टर पढ़ा के क्या करूं जो फायदा नहीं है आपको? राइट, वी शुड कंसंट्रेट ऑन दोज फोकस थिंग्स दैट विल बी कमिंग इन योर पेपर. तो पार्लियामेंट का एमसीक्यू दे देता हूं और फेडरलिज्म से आपको ये दे देता हूं. एमसीक्यू पार्लियामेंट से होगा और इससे भी होगा, फेडरलिज्म से भी होगा, एक दो. अरे नहीं खत्म, जितना जितना होगा उतना ही लेंगे, टेंशन मत लो. राइट, आई विल नॉट आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन व्हिच आई हैव नॉट टॉट यू. Yes, so this is the syllabus that I'll ask question. ठीक है, सेंट्रल स्टेट फेडरलिज्म, सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशन, नेशनल इमरजेंसी एंड एमसीक्यू ऑन पार्लियामेंट. राइट, इस साल भी पार्लियामेंट से दो सवाल थे, 3 सवाल थे, 2 या 3 सवाल थे, जबकि मात्र देयर वाज ओनली 12 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम पॉलिटी एंड अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10 क्वेश्चन वाज फ्रॉम इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन. राइट, दिस टाइम इन there was a more question from international relation, and there was a new kind of question, वो मैच करने वाला जो, right, 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, that was a new formulation. What that doesn't mean, अगर if you watching Sunset TV and there is one episode called Democracy of the World, आपको शुरू में मैंने बताया था कि कुछ चीजें लोग उस पर टीवी पे देखते हैं, पे डेमोक्रेसीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, डिप्लोमेटिक डिस्पैच. अगर 2 चीज देखते हैं तो आपको आईआर में नहीं बहुत कुछ आ जाएगा. You'll be able to attempt it. Let me tell you, I'm not giving you a burden. 1 hour for a week in diplomatic dispatch and 1 hour in a week for democracy of the world episode. Because there are 2 episodes in each section. आधे घंटे का सेक्शन होता है. Vikas Sharoop takes diplomatic dispatch and democracy of the world is taken up by some Arora. Right, आपका नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं छूटेगा. अगर आपने न्यूज़पेपर में छोड़ दिया तो वहां से आपको बहुत कुछ चीजें मिल जाएंगी. There are some scholar who comes at the to chair the conversation and they speak in very vast manner. So anyway, चलिए अब थोड़ा सा प्रोक्टेम स्पीकर लिखिए. क्या है प्रोक्टेम स्पीकर? प्रोक्टेम स्पीकर. So I told you that Lok Sabha speaker does not resign when the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Right, he or she continues in the office just before the newly elected Lok Sabha meets. Right, on the first day of Lok Sabha meeting, right, President appoints a member of the House as a speaker pro tem. Right, generally the senior most of the speaker of the member of the House is elected or nominated, appointed by the President as a speaker pro tem. Right, and President himself administer oath to the speaker pro tem. Let me tell you, right? And he has same power as a speaker. What he presides the first sitting of the newly elected Lok Sabha, right? And his main duty is to administer the oath to the new members, right? And he also enables to elect the new speaker in the house, right? President already fixed किया रहता है. Got the idea? So right here, he is a temporary speaker. Appointed by the president to preside the first sitting of the newly elected Lok Sabha. He is a temporary speaker appointed by the president to preside the first sitting of the newly elected Lok Sabha. The president administers the oath and secrecy to the speaker pro tem, right? Speaker pro tem, yeah. He has all power as the speaker. He has all power as the speaker. And the main duty is to administer oath to the new members. And the main duty is to administer the oath of the new members of the Lok Sabha. He also administered the oath and secrecy of the new member of the Lok Sabha, right? And he also enables House to elect the new speaker. He also enables the House to elect a new speaker. Fine. When the new speaker is elected, the office of the speaker pro tem ceases to exist. The president administers to oath and secretary of the speaker of the pro tem. The speaker administers the oath of the newly member of the house, and he also enables house to elect its speaker. And when the speaker is elected, right, the office of the speaker pro tem ceases to exist. Yes, Amber, have you written? Yeah. Atira, Dan, Manogna, Daman, Harsh, Kiran. He enables the house to elect new speaker. He enables house to elect new speaker. When the new speaker is elected, right? आप थोड़ा लक्ष्मीकांत देखना, मेजरली इसी में से मैंने आपको बोला है, right? You read this chapter carefully. Read articles, right, related to the parliament. That means article, especially article 80 मैंने लिख दिया है 80, 82, राइट। आर्टिकल 101 बता दिया था मैंने, 102 वही बता दिया। 79 टू 80, 122 है। कुछ आर्टिकल जो पढ़िए एंड यू रीड आर्टिकल्स फ्रॉम 79 टू 122 एंड इफ यू थिंक दिस आर्टिकल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट जस्ट रीड इट, एंड कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है तो उसको थोड़ा 2 बार 3 बार पढ़ लो। इंपॉर्टेंट इंटरेस्ट नहीं लग रहा छोड़ दो, एग्जाम में पता चलेगा अरे वही पूछ लिया, अरे हम इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखा रहे थे उस आर्टिकल पे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज अ आर्टिकल कॉल्ड 82 which empowers the president to summon the house to meet anywhere in the world, right? The president can summon the house to meet at least once in 6 months, right? In the parliament or in anywhere. गोवा में भी मीट कर सकते हैं, right? और शिमला में भी मीट कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? So look at the article. थोड़ा सा ये अब पढ़ लिया है आर्टिकल, थोड़ा सा देखते रहिए, 2 बार 4 बार पढ़ लो तो अच्छा रहेगा। फाइन, अदरवाइज ऑफ कोर्स इतना आर्टिकल तो याद नहीं हो पाता है, किसी से भी नहीं हो पाता है, आपसे भी नहीं, मतलब किसी से नहीं होता है, राइट? बट यू कैन डू इट, मतलब ऐसा मगअप करने की जरूरत नहीं है। So that is we talked about the pro-tem speaker. अब क्या बचा है? अच्छा, chairman of the Rajya Sabha we'll talk about, and then we'll talk about leader of the house of opposition, adjournment, जो small private parliamentary devices and procedures है, we will talk about this week. देखो कितना होता है, खत्म नहीं होगा, कोई बात नहीं, खत्म हो जाएगा तो ठीक है, खत्म नहीं होगा ऑफ कोर्स, नहीं होगा, हो जाएगा, नहीं होगा ऑफ कोर्स, खत्म नहीं होगा, राइट? जो मैंने पढ़ा है उस बेसिस पे आप देखिए, पिछला जो पार्लियामेंट का सवाल आया है यूपीएससी में, आप बना पा रहे हैं कि नहीं बना पा रहे हैं, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। फाइन, सो आई विल स्टॉप हियर फॉर टुडे, सी यू टुमारो। पर्स ने पहले थैंक यू बोल दिया, ठीक है सर, समझ गए कि आप, हाँ